Jwala, the cheetah bought from Namibia, must be a distraught mother today. Of her 4 cubs, 3 have died at the Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Jwala became a mother in March and lost her 3 cubs due to extreme weather conditions and dehydration, as per the official version, and the forest officials also reiterated how mortality rates were high amongst cheetah cubs. The first cub died on 23rd of March, Tuesday, and the reason cited was immense weakness, and apparently wildlife doctors swung into action to ensure the survival of the remaining cubs. Unfortunately, monitoring teams noticed signs that the remaining 3 cubs were also not looking good, with temperatures hitting 46 to 47 degrees Celsius at the national park. Meanwhile, the remaining cub who survived is in Palpur Hospital under intensive treatment and monitoring. Forest officials have been in constant touch with Namibian and South African cheetah experts and doctors to ensure the survival of this little fellow, which is currently in apparently stable condition but undergoing intensive treatment. The forest officials said that all cheetah cubs were found to be weak, underweight and highly dehydrated. The cheetah cubs were about 8 weeks old. At this stage, cheetah cubs are generally inquisitive and constantly walk with the mother. The forest officials further added that the cubs started walking only about 8 to 10 days ago. According to cheetah experts, the survival rate of cheetah cubs in Africa is generally very low. Of course, the post-mortem proceedings are being done as per protocol. And the list of cheetahs dying on us continues. On 27th of March, a Namibian cheetah named Sasha died of kidney complications. In April, Uday followed, and in May, a female cheetah, Daksha, brought from South Africa, died following, and I quote, violent interaction, close quote, with 2 male cheetahs, possibly, they say, during mating. Now I ask you, if Project Cheetah was launched with the intent of reviving the cheetah population in India, the death of these cheetahs actually defies all logic. Is it a project which was launched after nearly 7 decades, and many may say? Let me introduce him to you, Joseph Hoover, former member, State Board for Wildlife, Karnataka. He is joining us. Joseph, welcome to the show. Joseph, your first opinion on Project Cheetah, and today we are mourning, actually the death of several cheetahs. Of course, the adults died first, Daksha, Sasha, Uday, and now these 3 cubs, in very, very quick succession. If you look at the time that is taken, what everyone is thinking today, why bring them if they have to die, in such heat? Let me tell you another little detail. Someone was speaking to me and said, we don't even get, a breed of dogs which cannot withstand the harsh summer of certain climes in India. Why torture these beautiful animals? Your first opinion on this, Joseph Hoover.
Yeah, I would say this entire project, as Valmik Thapar said, is unwanted. It has been disastrous. Those who thought about it and brought it together, they need to again sit together, rethink whether they did the right thing or not. But as it is being made out, it is a disastrous project. We wasted money on it. 70 crore has been spent on this project. And these are not wild caught cheetahs as some of them make it out to be. These are all from the conservation reserves as they call. These are all bred within the reserves and then sent to India from South Africa and Namibia. So their chances of survival was always going to be, very, very little. All this put together. Now let's take this into perspective. Like our government spends so much of money on this cheetah just for a ego ride. They wanted to show that we are capable of doing this. This is absolutely stupid foolishness on part of the government and the WII, the Wildlife Institute of India. All the experts involved in this, they made such a big mistake, and the money which could have been spent on saving our own tigers and leopards and our great Indian bustard has been just wasted. Look at the fate of our tigers in India. I mean, our salaries are not being paid to our forest staff who are guarding our tiger reserves. They've not been paid salaries for 4 months, and the Ministry of Environment and Forest has not paid its 50% of what is supposed to pay to the state government. hardly 30% has been paid to all the tiger reserves. So look at the plight we are in. Here we have a ego right. We're saying we have brought cheetahs, we're going to introduce them when we knew it was going to be a disaster. Yet we
Yeah.
went ahead. And somewhere this has to stop. Somebody has to tell our leaders, please don't play around with wildlife. I mean, you don't bring cheetahs from Africa to kill them yet. The best way forward to high sea right now is just ensure these remaining cheetahs are at least sent to zoos.
Ajay Suri is joining us on the phone line. He's a wildlife expert and also particularly an expert on tigers. Ajay Suri, if you can hear me, welcome to the show. Very, very unfortunate indeed. We are mourning the deaths of several cheetahs, particularly these cubs. That broke my heart. You know, one fella is, of course, I pray and hope that he comes back hale and hearty. But let me tell you something. You know, one of the very well-known experts on the project, Vincent van der Merwe, he said, look, do not overreact. It's not very unusual for young mothers, first-time mothers, young mothers to lose the litter. So, do you think we are somewhere overreacting? I know it's a very harsh word to use, Ajay Suri, my apologies. But, you know, let's do some kind of correction, or you think this project has been faulty from the word go, Ajay Suri?
No, not really. I don't believe in it, Sudha. Because see, this might be a hiccup. Of course, it's a cause for concern, but this does not in any way prove that the project has failed or it should not have, taken place in the first place. The fact remains that in the wild, the mortality rate of big cats and in particular their cubs is very, very high. In fact, the survival rate of the cubs in particular is quite low. I have personally seen, tigresses losing all their 4 cubs, all their 3 cubs, leopards losing all their cubs. This is the way of the nature. And, but now that what has really must have disconcerted a lot of people is that so many cheetahs dying in the last 2 months. That was not a foreseen development. And I think some kind of a course correction would be needed. See, very recently, last month itself, the Forest Department of Madhya Pradesh did write to NTCA, the National Tiger Conservation Authority, saying that, an alternate space, preferably in Rajasthan, must be looked where some of the cheetahs can be shifted, and this would be a very practical, very prudent step.
But Ajay Suri, sorry to interject, Ajay Suri, these little babies, they died because of extreme heat. They were also very weak, of course. They were dehydrated because of the heat. Now, Valmik Thapar, who's an expert, I'm not saying that you have to concur with him, but Valmik did say that, this kind of heat, इसमें तो इंसान के छक्के छूट जाते हैं. ये तो these are beautiful creatures. They are not used to it. That's why they are in Africa. They don't have a habitat to run. They need to run openly and freely. So Rajasthan, Rajasthan when it comes to heat, Ajay Suri, is something which could be worse than any other habitat. Don't you think?
I really don't know, because this suggestion has come from the Forest Department of Madhya Pradesh. And these are like forest chaps, IFS officers. I'm in no way either to endorse them or to challenge them. So I don't have any particular, stand on this point, because I don't think I'm equipped to say about it.
Right. Ajay Suri, I wanted to ask you, the thing is that this project Cheetah, it was on the anvil for nearly 70 years. Then it was brought by Prime Minister Modi and there was great celebration in this country. But a lot of experts feel that enough and more research should have been done, because look at it today, people who are animal lovers, people who are wildlife conservationists like yourself, experts, naturalists, they are all saying that it was kind of premature to do this. I mean, no one wants one living creature and as beautiful as the cheetah to die, no?
Well, there are different ways to look at it, See, there is no, when you're saying proper research, what do you mean proper research? When you say it should have been done, for how long? I mean, is there any authority which says that the research should have been done for, say 6 months, 2 years? And this program, cheetahs of course, it's Prime Minister's baby, and I'm not an expert on cheetahs. I've done stuff on big cats. I've made films on them. I've seen, tigers and leopards from close quarters. I've never been to Africa. So whatever I know about cheetahs is what I've been told by other experts. But the fact remains that for hundreds of years, India was a place where cheetahs existed. They lived. So it's not that it's an alien creature as such.